Hello, welcome to the fifth episode of my life journey. It's Kay. In the previous video, I shared and talked about the times when I was stuck between the dilemma of deciding my friend Sar to become my life coach or not. I talked about, this tough decision of accepting him as I had to, in return, become fully obedient to whatever he orders me to do, just like a soldier who says yes to the commander. And, you know, I went back and forth and finally accepted him to become my life coach. And I started this new path with him. And he taught me the first lesson of this new path, which was silence of mind. I talked about it in the previous video. I said that it was all about, regaining control over thoughts and minds and, uh, you know, in the end, reach mental clarity. I mean, the purpose of this practice is mental clarity and reclaiming your mental space. I talked about how it should be done. You need to find a comfortable place, comfortable and preferably quiet place without interruptions and distractions, where you can sit and focus solely on your breath and feeling it fully flowing in and out. I talked about the challenges that you may have because it's not that easy to focus on your breath and continue this for a long time, say 1 hour or half an hour. Why? Because as you know, even in our daily life, when we are doing something like reading a book, studying or anything, any task, suddenly some thoughts pop in our heads and we start a conversation in our head and we just talk and talk and talk with ourselves, or this noise or voice is always in our head with us during the day, and it's hard to stop it. Like, it just comes and we don't have that much control over it. And imagine when you're focusing on your breath, these thoughts even try to get into your mind more. And yeah, that is the challenging part, that you need to resist it and tell those thoughts to go, and trying to reach at a state where you can at least do this for a long time. The final goal that I was told is 1 hour, but over the past week, honestly, I couldn't constantly do it more than 2 minutes or 1 minute. It was too tough, and I have to sit, and I need to be very like, my back need to be straight and in the meditation form, kinda. And my body is not used to it. I feel pain sometimes in my spine or back, my backbones. And yeah, overall it's not easy. And but one thing that I can say for sure is it actually helped me. Like, I felt there is something going on. Like, I was surprised of this thing. I didn't know, like, this thing can be at controlled or tried to be resisted against. Do you know what I mean? And that thing was really surprising. As I said, we arrived at this conclusion to have our meetings like this. First, I give myself some time to practice whatever he teaches me or assigns me to do, so that I can make my body and mind get used to it and become comfortable with it and confident enough to become ready for the next lesson, to absorb the next lesson. I did it for more than a week, and I asked him to give me the next lesson, and we had a call, and he shared the second one with me. And today I want to discuss that with you. The second lesson that he taught me had this name, as he said: eliminating wasted time and energy. The main purpose of this lesson is all about eliminating and removing whatever that is not necessary for you and doesn't serve your goals, this time not mentally but physically. In the as I understood, the first lesson's goal was had this duty to remove everything that you don't need mentally, and the second one is physical. It's more about your environment and anything aside from you, not inside of you. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I honestly, before discussing this, didn't realize how much of my time and energy is being drained by activities that even don't serve my goals. Or I thought they served my goals, but they didn't, as it became clear. And yeah, so he told me that in this lesson, our goal is to cut out anything that is not going to benefit you and your future in any shape or form. So let's get into it. First, let me start by talking about Sar's philosophy behind this second lesson. It's all about time. He made it very clear to me. It may sound a bit cliche, or you may have heard it a thousand times, but as he said, time is the most valuable thing that we have. Once it's spent, we can't get it back in any way or shape or form, It's simple, but he made me reflect on it and, realize some things deeper. He wanted me to actually dig deeper into the idea of time. And that's why we need to be intentional about how we spend our time and energy, he said. And if you're like me, you may find yourself doing, some activities like going to events, saying yes to requests, invitations from people, friends, or scrolling through, social media, or, playing video games from time to time. All these normal activities that you know people do when they are young or they're at any age, but as a young person, I had this belief, okay, I only live once, so I need to be really having fun with friends and do cool stuffs. And he made me realize that that's not necessarily wrong, but in fact it's not going to benefit my future and goals at all. Actually, he challenged me to think uh, how I, spend my days, my weeks, and months. He made me to look at them in this type of frame. And yeah, this I wrote one question. He asked this question from me. He said, you look to be going to gym. Is that right? I said, of course. I mean, I go to gym for a couple of times in a week. And he said, right. Are you pursuing a bodybuilding career? And I said, no. And he said, okay, what is your goal? What is your purpose to go to gym for a couple of times in a week? I said, well, it's healthy. I like to, maintain happy and healthy and energetic. And there's lots of positive things to it. And, I like to keep fit and look fine, these things. And he said, right, how many times exactly do you go to gym? And I said, I hit the gym like 4 to 6 times a week. I mean, as much as I can, the more the better, you know. And he just looked at me like for 20, 30 seconds. And I was surprised. Like, why is he shocked? It's totally fine to go to gym. It's one of the best things you can do, possibly. But he wanted me to dig deeper about this, subject. He wanted me to realize if I was doing this because I needed to, or because I was, actually influenced by some people, or by comparing myself to bodybuilders, or wrong expectations of myself that I created in my mind. Yeah, that was a very challenging moment for me. This made me reflect on lots of things, on my priorities, and, all the things that shaped my mind from the outside world. It was one of the, those aha moments. And I was like, right. So many things that I suppose they're right actually are not my decisions, but they are, the effects of environment on me. He told me to think of a more balanced workout schedule. He said, yeah, physical fitness is important and keeping healthy is great. There are tons of benefits to doing sports, but it shouldn't become a distraction. It shouldn't become a distraction to your main objectives, actually. And he said, yeah, you shouldn't be spending more than enough hours in the gym unless it is, it is directly benefiting your personal goal and career. He asked me, do you want to become a bodybuilder? If yes, go do it 10 times a week. Go do it as much as you can. Like, he told me some bodybuilders go to gym twice a day. And if that's what you want, yeah, go for it. But I know that it's not what you want. So if like half an hour of not so intense workouts daily can benefit your body and make you totally healthy, and make your body happy. And yeah, that lesson actually hit me really hard, because I could realize how much time I could free up by just making my workouts more intentional, and managing my workouts and have a better and more balanced sessions. And one thing that I thought of was, this is not only about doing sports. Like, a lot of us are busy with some kind of activities that we truly believe they are great, they are, very nice to do, we are proud of doing them, and we truly believe they are benefiting us, and they are actually beneficial. But the thing is, they are not directly supporting, your long term or long run goals. So even that can be detrimental to, your reaching your maximum potential. Yeah, reading books, that's a great thing. But, if done more than enough, that can be like, going to gym to stay healthy too. Or any other, so-called positive activity. Sar also talked about cutting out activities and relationships that drain energy without giving anything back. By that, he didn't mean I go and cut people out of my life completely for no reason. No, 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 no. He actually encouraged me to be more mindful or careful about how I spend my time around people, what impact or, influence they have on me, how they are, you know, how they're affecting me. And if they are not contributing to my growth, or if they're actively becoming obstacles to reach what I want, that's a red light. That's a red sign. That's somewhere that I need to, you know, at least do something about it. Yeah, already maybe some things came to your mind. You may want to learn something new. You may want to start a new activity that needs you to be concentrated for 3 months, 6 months, a year, or years. I don't know. And when you talk about it around other people, these other people, I mean, it can be your family, your friends, your relatives, or whoever you have in your social circle. When you talk about them, they look at you, and Mostly they put themselves in your shoe, and when they see that they don't have that passion or they don't want what you want, they go like, hmm, that is too tough. Why do you want to, put in so much effort? Come on, life is short, let it go. What do you see in yourself to reach such a thing? You can't do that, you can't reach that. Anything in that sense, that is that is a, huge red light for me. So I need to kind of counteract that. And at the same time, he encouraged me to be a very gentle and decent person. This doesn't mean being antisocial at all. He actually encouraged me to grow my social skills and be become a very emotionally intelligent person. I just need to counteract that in some shape or form. Like if people don't understand me, I should let them know that, okay, this is my life, this is what I've chosen, this is what I'm doing, and I'm serious about it, so respect that. If they don't, I can go to the next step, I can go further, I can maybe make myself more distant from them, or I can somehow ignore them. And this can go further and further. The more they are detrimental to me, to my goals, the more I have to ignore them, I have to counteract them until the border of even cutting them out of my life if they are becoming such a big issue. I mean, he emphasized a lot that this is not being antisocial or being angry and being harsh towards other people. No, actually, I have to become very gentle, but at the same time I need to be careful about how people influence me. It's tough, right? It's super tough, and I actually think that I need to exercise that. I need to make myself more powerful. I feel that I'm not there yet. But he said prioritizing my own advancement and growth over other people's expectations of me, that's something very essential, and that's key to my success. Another part that stood out to me was when he talked about hobbies. He said hobbies are great things. They can enrich our lives and bring so much joy to it, but we need to question them if they are aligned with our goals, if they are, becoming distractions or time sinks or not. My biggest hobby is music. Music is something I grew up with, I have strong bonds with, and it's been always like a comfort zone for me. And I listen to different genres of music and truly enjoy it and see it as a positive thing. But he made me question that too. Like he said, what is its place in your life? How much time do you spend on it? And I said, yeah, I fill the gaps between different tasks or activities with music. I even play music when I'm doing, some activities like studying or doing some tasks or concentrating. It was a very tough time because admitting that this was detrimental to my focus was super hard. He made me realize that actually it's becoming a distraction because I'm doing it more than enough. He said, okay, if you're giving music lessons, that's fine. But do you want to become a musician? Do you want to become a singer or like, you know? And I realized that even that is not contributing to my purpose right now. He warned me that this process would involve tough decisions. I need to start to say no to friends, turn down invitations, or even step back from activities that others may expect me to be a part of. But by freeing up time and energy and, directing them towards the right thing and, things that bring real value to my life, that's how I can get ahead. And these tough decisions will pay off by rapid improvements in my professional and personal life. Overall, I think that this approach is a bit harsh and, this idea of being ruthless with how I spend my time. But he reminded me of the previous conversation when he talked about people getting burned out. He said people are, as he explained, running on treadmills and reaching nowhere. Why is that? That's exactly because of, wasting their energy and reaching at a place where they give up. And if they just, did the right thing a bit more like stronger, they wouldn't give up. And first lesson was all about implementing this in the inside world, and this second lesson is about, saying no to distractions in the outside world to reach and gain that willingness, willingness to break this cycle of, let's say, burnout or, feeling not enough to reach what you want. So, what I have learned from this lesson, in my opinion, second lesson is all about being mindful of how I spend my time in the outside world, in the physical world. And it's not about being busy all the time at all. It's about keeping focused on the right thing. It's exactly like, you know, pruning a tree. When you cut out, those dead branches, and the tree can, grow taller and stronger in that case. And that's what I want to do with my life. So in this coming week, I want to go ahead and try it and try to, make better decisions on how I spend my time and see what happens. I will share them with you, and hopefully soon we will have another meeting for the third lesson. I will keep you informed, and as always, take care. See you.